Yeah, it's gonna be another long week next week.
Don't you love that for yourself? Oh, I was gonna say, why the fuck is my mouth not moving? It is on the way.
Nah, it's unusual for me to sleep like through the night. Usually I'll wake up, be walking around doing all kind of dumb shit. But for me to like sleep straight through,
Chad, did you
yeah,
guys know that DC has night terrors? I'm done. All right, let's
I
get
don't even know
started.
what that is. Is that like a fancy way to say nightmares?
It's like the next step up. It's like hallucinations and shit. It's pretty bad for some people.
Oh, so that's like the. Mm,
It's like, yeah,
I don't. Nah, I can control my dreams though. I think that's pretty
yeah. We've
awkward.
talked about that before, and I'm still amazed that you can just do that shit. I wish I could do that.
Nah, well, yeah, it really shows where your moral compass is. I'll say that
Oh,
much.
okay. Yeah, no need to elaborate. Let's get started. Jesus
I'm always a
Christ.
superhero in my dreams. Like I just fly around for the most part.
Yeah, no, I do have wild dreams, Winnie. Like I have pretty vivid dreams for sure. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
You like the starting string the screen? Thank you, Sergey. I like it too, man. It's my favorite thing I've done over the last couple of years for the stream.
I'm
One
a
of my
little
favorite
creepy
things.
spider.
I do have weird
Oh.
dreams. I be telling Lisa about them all the time. I'm always getting chased. I'm always in danger. It's like I'm always
No,
fighting for
see,
my
I'm
life or
always
some
like a
shit.
hero. Like, cause I just fly around and then I look for people to beat up.
That's not a hero. I wouldn't classify that
They're
as
usually
heroic.
doing some kind of crime.
Sure, Batman. Yeah,
One
what a,
time I broke in a bank just to see how I feel, and then I was like a getaway driver. But it's probably my dream, so I couldn't crash. So, like, I was driving wild as hell.
right, like jaywalking, right. That sounds real suspicious, don't it, Weedy? Yeah, they're committing crimes. Yeah, sure they are. Yeah.
But it's my dream. Like, I could make the police go away. Like, they'll come, but like they'll go away. It's almost like Grand Theft Auto, and like when you put in a cheat code.
That's fucking insane. They just vanish like in thin
I was
air.
flying through buildings one time. Then I was tearing shit up just to see how much shit I could tear up.
See, this is
But
why humans don't need superpowers. I feel like it would be a real life the boys. I really
I was
do.
just tossing shit, throwing cars, just kind of testing my limits.
You've had dreams where you felt physical pain. I have to. I've
Oh, do
been
you wake up sore? Because that's the downside to my dreams. Because I always wake up sore, so I feel like I'm punching myself or something.
I'm never gonna forget once when I was younger. I had a dream where it felt like I was literally in front of the sun, and I woke up and my ceiling light was on and the heater was on in the room, so it was hot as fuck. Like you guys ever have vivid dreams like that where like stuff?
Because your body's literally trying to tell you something.
Yeah, like
Like,
I woke
for
up like damn
example,
near
if I have to
dehydrated.
be up at a certain time,
Yeah.
like say if I have to be up at 10:30 and I'll just wake up at 7, but I'll just be sitting in the bed and my mind won't let me go back to sleep because every time I try to go back to sleep, I have a stupid dream that wakes me up.
Oh, that's fuck. Yeah, that sucks, man.
I remember one time I bit my ex in the back because I was asleep, and in my dream I was getting a ham sandwich,
Oh my god.
and she had a gash in her back because like I
Oh
bit her
my
that
god. Are
hard.
you
This is
fucking
a true
kidding me?
story. Yeah,
What?
I thought I was getting a ham sandwich. I was true story. Swear to God.
All your dreams you see snow. That's kind of reality for you, Sergey. I don't know if that's really a dream, man. That's
I'm talking about big bite. It was a good sandwich in my
bro.
dream.
Oh my gosh.
Then I heard like screaming.
You're
Then I
fucking
woke up
insane.
and I was like, "Oh."
Night terrors, chat.
She-
See,
She's like, "What the fuck?
you
What
need
the
a.
fuck is wrong with you?"
Weenie said you need a sleep muzzle.
Not a sleep muzzle. I probably chew through that, knowing me,
Oh Jesus Christ, that's so fucking insane. That's
bro. But
actually
like, I was watching them make this sandwich. I remember this. It was so vivid. Like they were making my sandwich. It was kind of like it wasn't Five Guys, but just think of like Five Guys or Subway or
a
something where you could
great
see
one.
people
One of the
making.
best sandwiches. You were probably really excited for that shit to bite somebody over.
Man, and they
That's crazy.
stuffed it down in a paper.
Jesus Christ, I don't need a
And then
CPAP machine. I don't
shit,
sn-
I probably do.
I
I
don't
just
snore.
all you
According
gotta
to
do
you,
is
I
just
don't
turn
snore
on.
throughout the night. Just when I first fall asleep.
All you gotta do is just turn you on your side. You'll be fine. That's what I do.
I be telling her to wake me up. You know what's
And
crazy is
you just
I
turn.
mostly sleep on my side. I'm really kind of like a side sleeper.
People really only snore when they sleep on their back.
Oh, then something's probably wrong with me. I should probably go to a doctor.
Yeah. Good luck with getting a sleep test.
Oh,
Yeah, those
they're
things
not
cost
giving them.
money. Mm,
Just like everything else in America. All right.
yeah. Oh, I almost said something. Yeah, but yeah, it was a very great sandwich, man. And like, I took it out of wrapper. I was like, this is gonna be great. Man, I bit to that thing. I was like, it's kind of chewy.
I can't imagine being woken up out of my sleep being eaten alive. That's insane. This guy DC, man. All right, let's get started, man. Holy shit, that's crazy. Holy cow,
What
man.
the? Then this person thought I was doing this on purpose. She was like, it was an argument. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I was like, I was hungry. Maybe if you would have fed me.
All up and there, and that's how it starts, right? Jesus Christ.
Oh man, my stomach was hurting too. I went and got a big bowl of cereal after that.
Big bowl of cereal after arguing.
Man, yeah, I snore, do everything. I fall out the bed, I kick you. I'm already. If I never get married, we definitely separate rooms. I sleep way too wild and loud.
California King, man, that's all you need.
No, I need a separate room. We episode
190.
191.
190.
191.
Are you sure?
91. Last episode.
191 it is.
Yes, sir. Last episode was 191.
We do so many, it's hard to keep up nowadays.
It really is. Who knows?
Hello, and welcome to episode 191 of the Super Weapon Podcast, most overpowered podcast on the internet. It's your boy Darius the Artist, and as always, got my co-host DC here with me today.
What up, though? It's the know-it-all who knows nothing at all, but he always has a cool hat on. Yes, it's DC. I'm here today. I'm trying to get the energy up a little bit because it's raining and sad outside, and it's been a long week. But get that energy up, baby.
It's raining here in Georgia.
Video games.
Yeah, man. It's the holiday weekend here, Memorial Day weekend.
MomoCon for all the people who like to attend that.
Yeah, I just realized, like, I don't know why I never thought about it, but MomoCon always does happen on the same weekend of Memorial Day. That's like a religious thing here. And so shout out to everybody who goes. Stay safe. Cover your drinks. Don't let the weirdos get you, man. And it's always,
There's a lot of my friends are at MomoCon this year because everybody was hitting up my phone like, hey, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people drove that I know from out of town and whatnot. And
I want to
go one of the bigger cons here.
One of these days, I do want to go. I don't think I've ever actually been to MomoCon here, which is crazy.
What is a MomoCon? I need to.
It's essentially like an anime convention, anime gaming convention.
Okay, there we go.
Tickets are, well, they used to be affordable. I don't know about nowadays. MomoCon tickets.
I don't think MomoCon tickets are that bad.
Yeah, it's one of the more affordable conventions I've seen over the years. Oh, never mind. Just like everything else, price has gone up, bro. Saturday tickets, one day only is $60. Holy guacamole.
Boy, those tickets used to be like $15.
Yeah, they used to be way cheaper than this. Oh my gosh.
Small.
Sunday is $50, 4-day multi-pass is $100. So, hey, if you go, just make sure you get your money's worth, man. There's usually a lot of events and stuff, tournaments, all kind of fun gaming things to do. So, and of course, shout out to all the veterans, man. Like I said, it is Memorial Day on Monday, as of this recording. So, we know a lot of military people here in our community, as well as yourself, DC. So, thank you for your service, of course. We always got to make sure to honor those who have done things that we do not want to do ourselves around here. So, hello, Darkside. Yes. How you doing, man? Yeah, if you guys are listening to this podcast audio version, we do record this live every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, man. Make sure you guys come stop by. We have a good time. Talk to chat. There's a lot of varying opinions on a lot of things, which is what is the best thing about the game industry, in my opinion. And make sure you guys also check out the YouTube, man. DC has been uploading like a madman over there. Shorter, more easier, digestible things over there. It's just a few minutes per topic usually. So let us know what you guys think about that. If you guys like it, if you prefer the whole episode, any kind of feedback over there would be great. Like I said, DC's been working pretty hard on that. So we appreciate y'all either way. But let's get into it, man, because we had Hellblade 2 come out this week. We actually had Hellblade 2 and Ghost of Tsushima come out Ghost of Tsushima hit PC this week, which seems like everyone seems like they really love the port and everything. I've watched a bit of it. I played through the entire original campaign on PlayStation 4. It's one of my. I think that was my game of the year when it did come out personally. So if you guys haven't seen that, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Hellblade 2, man. And everybody loved the game too when it came out, right? DC, it was a great game.
Oh man, it was
Xbox's first
explosive.
major
Oh,
release.
man.
Nobody was arguing on the internet. And no, I'm kidding. As with everything Xbox, there's always contentious opinions and you know, hotly debated opinions, and you know, everyone either loves the game or they hate it. And we're gonna talk about it because you've actually played. I'm not sure how far into the game you got.
I'm almost done.
Okay, so yeah, you've played pretty much the entire thing. I've watched what I feel like is the entire game at this point. So I feel like we're gonna have varying opinions on it. But I'm pretty excited to get into it. So I guess my biggest question for you, man, starting out as we always do, man, like your overall impressions, thoughts of the game. You know, where do you kind of sit on? You know, either do you like it or you not? Because that seems like a lot of people either love it or hate it.
All right, let me start off with my compliment sandwich. All right, because a compliment sandwich is a beautiful sandwich, I think. I want to start off with the good things before I get into the bad. So obviously, this game is a stunning, beautiful work of art to look at. Right, graphics are without a doubt amazing on this game. No matter where you play it, the graphics look good. It looks good. It looks good.
You're playing on Xbox, right? Series X?
Yes. Yeah, I was playing on the Xbox. It's still I took my Xbox off my monitor and actually put it on my TV because I just wanted to see how it looked.
Right.
And from my monitor to my TV, I'm gauging a look here. Great. Looks even better on my TV because my monitor is not like the greatest of monitors, but it still looked good on the monitor too. All across the board, beautiful looking game. We give it that. Kudos, clap, clap, doggy treat, whatever. Yeah, but then we have to get down to the real Ninja Theory. Love you guys. I do. So I'm gonna be very careful with my wording here because I do love Ninja Theory.
Nah, be honest, man. Honest opinions, always.
I did not enjoy myself. I'll say that. I didn't enjoy the experience. There was too much. There was a lot of traversal situations where you're just walking, right?
Yeah.
You're walking, and I don't like the use of the voices this time around because I feel like it's overbearing. Like, I don't know if that's how it feels to have that for real, but it tends to be a little overbearing in this game. Like, they're there constantly talking, and it was getting to the point where I was like, okay, I'm taking my headphones off. It's like, shut up. It's like it wasn't really given that's I don't know what it is between 1 and 2. The voices seem a little more impactful on 1, and I think it was better when you kind of feared the voices. Now on this one, she kind of like listens to them. It's weird, man. Like, I don't like it. I'm just gonna say I don't like it. There's a whole bunch of other stuff I can go into, like the combat, for example. They could have put a little more polish on the combat. It's kind of like you have a quick strike and then a heavy strike, and then the animation whenever the enemy gets low on health. I don't know what animation you're going to go into, but you'll do something like a slice, a stab in a rib, or the combat is very basic. It's very basic. Then you get to a point where you get I don't know, I call it a flash bomb. It's like a spell or something that you get that supposedly blinds or distract the enemies. Then you're doing the same kind of slices over and over again. Only thing that really changes is, like I said, when you're about to kill them, you do some kind of little cool move. But I feel like there was a lot left out with the combat, and then there's so many walks, weird puzzle, combat like situation. Um, the puzzles consist of you looking around. The puzzles are just it's not puzzling for me. The puzzles are just like very just bland and
Sure, sure. Yeah.
it seemed like overall it was a whole bunch of stuff that if more polished would have made for a better gaming experience. They got to learn how to pace it. I feel like the pacing in the game is way off. You can go walking forever. You could be walking for miles. You do some little weird look around puzzle, look in the sky, put some puzzles together in your head. Then you're walking again. You're walking, and then sometimes you're with a companion and he's talking, and you're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm trying to listen to this dude because I'm like, maybe he's telling
Telling
something
something
that's important
important.
to the
Yeah.
story, but I don't even know what's going on. So like we're walking, then you get to combat. Now this is the funny part. Even the combat gets tiring. Like you'll fight one person and you're so weak and they're so overbearing. You finally kill that person, another one runs up. You kill that person, another one runs up. One at a time. Just run up, run up. It gets repetitive, especially toward the end, because you get bigger waves of enemies and they're each wave, like there's one dude who blows flames. Dude, I almost screamed and I almost threw the game out the window because he hits you with like one or two flames and you're dead. It's ridiculous. But to me, a lot of the pacing messed up the experience for me. Even when you get to the end, I don't want to spoil it. Like
Yeah.
the end to me is very anticlimactic. It was just like what? Like you don't even experience what I like to call like a big boss battle. It's weird. It's weird and I feel like man, I really can't find anything really too good to say about it beyond the graphics. And yeah, man, I wish that and this is a guy who plays a variety of games. I think the action could have been put in there in certain spots better, if that makes sense.
No,
Like
I
there's a lot of just like walking and just like if people who played it, they can tell you. Like I know they're going ham online with the comments, but if you look at the ones where they're saying like walk simulator and stuff, they trying to be funny, but it's not too far off. Like,
yeah.
and then sometimes you get in spots where you don't even know what to do. Like you're walking. There's been a lot of spots where I walk and I'm like, okay, where the hell do I go from here? And I'm just gonna give y'all a hint. If you play it, always look for the little white marks on the ground that kind of lets you know that's the way you're supposed to be going. Because man, I was stuck in one spot. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was just walking around pressing X, trying to interact with stuff, and then I finally figured out what it was. It's like a little bitty crawl space I had to go through. It was so stupid, man. But this is not what I was expecting. Um, and it really, really, really like because I've been playing it since it dropped till last night to try to hurry up and beat it because I heard the game wasn't that long, which is not. The game is probably about 5.5 hours long, give or
Yeah,
take.
it seems like people are kind of sitting between like 5 to 10, depending on, everybody's different, of course. Some people play things at a different pace.
Yeah, if
Um,
you play it like just straight, and then it's like, well, I can't even say beeline because it's pretty much
it's
a
pretty
straightforward
guided. Yeah,
game.
it's
It's
pretty
just how
linear.
fast you run through it. Like me, I'm holding the run button. I was just trying to get through it. I was trying to find some redeeming qualities about it. And I'm just like, if this game had a little more polish, if they would have did a little bit more with the combat, if they would have just spaced it better between the combat and the walking, like just to try the way you traverse through the game, just period. Like if you're gonna be doing that walking, you gotta have like some interactions with puzzles, maybe talk to some NPCs or something. You're just like walking, and a lot of times you're walking and you're hearing your voices, or you're walking and it's a dude that you're walking with. He's talking some gibberish. One guy that you get in a fight with, you take him with you, so
Sure.
he's talking shit. So it's like you're hearing voices. This guy's talking shit. It's like everybody shut up, shut the hell up. Like the
I
voices
think,
don't even have that effect no more. Like the
yeah,
first game, like I loved it in the first game. It was like I felt like someone was here with me. I felt like it was somebody behind me. I felt like it was somebody in my living room talking. This one, I don't know if they used a different kind of sound method, but it just sounds like everybody's just like in your ear. I don't know, man. I didn't enjoy my experience. I'm not gonna lie.
no, and that's and so here's the thing, right? This is something that I'll say this. I'll start off by saying this. I think that whether people like the game or not, this is the game that Ninja Theory wanted to make for a sequel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is ultimately what they wanted to do, you know, and this is a very, just like you said, a very different type of game than what I think majority of the people were expecting, myself included.
Mm-hmm.
And it, for me, the biggest thing is I think it just goes back to messaging. You know, I keep harping on this. Like, we've seen bits and pieces of this game over the last few years, and
Mm-hmm.
I think people thought they were getting a different experience than what was advertised.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and to touch on your comment, Winnie, in chat, he was, you know, you talking about the marketing. I think in terms of like traditional marketing, this game didn't really see that ramp up until about 2 weeks ago, 2-ish weeks ago. And I think it's because of the length of the game and the experience that you were getting. And, you know, I agree with most of the points you made, you know, about the, you know, the environment. The game looks very beautiful. Like I said, I
Mm-hmm.
think this is the best looking game of the generation so far, like hands down.
And it looks real good when you get
Yeah.
toward the end because there's these set pieces and you're dealing with a giant. I'll say that much without
Yeah,
spoiling
from
it.
the trailer. Yeah, it's the giant from the trailer.
Yeah. It's the
But
giant. The giant has a big part to play once you get towards the end, and it creates some very beautiful, like cinematic pieces. Like
yeah.
it looks great. Like the game looks freaking amazing. And I'm not saying that it had to be all out like battle, like
No,
God of War or something. It's just
I think that's the
what they
thing
did.
though. Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like when people think of sequels to franchises, which is what this is, I'm assuming supposed to be, you know,
Yeah,
some
it's
sort of
continuing
franchise
off.
for the Xbox brand, right? Like I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of sequel to this, whatever that is. I don't know how the game ends yet. I haven't watched the very end of it yet. But you know, just from like a story standpoint, I think this was so if you guys have never played the first one, light spoilers. You know, Senua essentially is trying to save her people in this game from being enslaved by another group of individuals, and that's kind of like the whole point of her journey through this game is her trying to save her people. And I feel like we're at the point where she's kind of embracing the psychosis that she has. Like, you know, you kind of, just like you mentioned, like you constantly hear the voices, the characters' voices in the game, but I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't really necessarily feel like it adds much to the experience like the first game did, where, you know, it would, they kind of use it almost kind of like a hinting system in the first game, whereas this one is just kind of like it seems like she's close to another psychotic break while she's trying to do something very heroic and save her people. So
Yeah,
I feel like this game is just like you said, like it just, there's no real rhyme or reason to the sounds, that the echoes of the personalities that she's hearing or whatever. And
it's a
I'm
lot.
yeah, and
On part one, it's a
it
lot
is
more.
pretty
And
constant. Like it seems like, I don't know if that's supposed to be like,
her breaking
yeah,
down,
like
or
them trying to say she's kind of losing control, you know, while trying to keep it together simultaneously. I don't know if there's like a commentary on that they're trying to illustrate there, but
well, see, I didn't get that playing through the game though,
yeah,
but I did like the voices. They do get louder toward the end,
yapology
and
according
I
to BZ. All right, okay.
somebody. Once again, we got
Shout
to
out to
mute
BZ in
mute
chat,
BZ,
man.
man.
Shout out to our guy BZ.
Jesus Christ, man. But I never thought of it like that. You may be right. I never looked at it like that. Like maybe they're
At
saying
least, at
that the
least that's what I'm
voices,
thinking. I could be
yeah,
totally
like
fucking
she's
wrong,
kind
but
of like losing her mind now. I never really like thought of it like that because they are constantly talking now.
yeah,
As in part one, they only talk to you when there was like danger or something
or
like or
puzzles
puzzles.
involved. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
hey, the voices kind of get on you, man. They be kind of roasting you a little
yeah,
bit.
and I
Damn,
think my
stupid.
biggest thing with, because I always try to look at things like the whole picture, right? Like for me, I don't think, especially after the conversation we had about Xbox and the closure of the studios and just the general direction that they seem to be going as a brand,
Hmm.
I don't think games like this do them any favors when it comes to trying to win over their audience or trying to bring new people into the brand. And
Mm,
when I say that, I mean, just like you said, I don't think this game is for everybody. This is a very heavily narrative focused game.
very.
Light on combat, which I'm gonna touch on the combat too because I do want to talk about that. I'm pretty disappointed about that, but I really feel like this game was more of like you're playing a cinematic experience, which is not, I don't think, is the best representation of what Xbox wants to do. I mean, they've talked about it for years about how they want to give their studios freedom of choice and creativity, and I love that they do that, but I feel like these are the types of things and decisions that make me kind of look at them sideways, right? Like this was, like I said, from what I perceived this game to be over the last couple of years, I thought this was supposed to be their, I don't want to necessarily say answer to things like God of War or Last of Us, but I thought this was going to have broader appeal just because of how good the first game was, and I feel like not enough people played the first game, and that would have been like a great introduction into a new franchise for them.
Hmm.
But I don't feel like this was the best way for them to kind of represent themselves as a brand. I mean, the game is actually reviewing very well on like Metacritic, and I just looked it up on Steam. Metacritic, I think, is sitting at 81 right now, which it's good. That's good. That's a very good thing. And I think Steam is sitting at like very positive on the review, so people are enjoying what they're playing.
It's a dope
Um,
game. I just don't
it's not
think.
though. It's not. Let's just be. I'm just being honest. It's a narrative. I think it's more like a narrative experience that's very light on combat, and some things that just doesn't do it for a lot of people, myself included. And
Like, I just think is. I don't think is which is pretty much what you said. I don't think. Let's not say dope. It's an okay game,
it's
right?
it's good at what it's trying to
But
put in front of you, but once again, the game was not
but
marketed like
it's
that.
not. I think whatever we want to call it, mediocre, dope, whatever. I don't think as a whole is not what Xbox needed right now. And I
Exactly.
think that's
That's what
pretty
I'm
much what
saying.
you said.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. Like once again, you made me think about it and I totally agree with that sentiment. Like, cool, this game is whatever you want to call it. But right now, it's just like they didn't add to the experience of what you experienced from one.
Right.
There was not really like hell. We didn't even talk about the combat because even the combat in one and two, it's pretty much the same. Like I said, you have these little animations you do at the end, but as far as the button scheme goes and
Yeah.
what you're doing, it's pretty much the same. And I think that's one of the marks that they miss. Like, hey, it ain't gotta be ultra combat heavy, but when you do combat, it gotta be better than this. It
Yeah,
has to be
I
better
feel
than
like
this.
if they would have just expanded on some of the things that they did really well, because I was a pretty big, I enjoyed the combat of the first game a lot. I felt like it was, what's the word I'm looking for, kind of claustrophobic. Like you really had to hone in on the person you
And
were
yeah, it makes it
fighting.
because you were weak.
You were
It makes you
weaker.
feel weak.
Yeah, you don't feel like the superhero, like the main character of the game itself. Like you're really struggling in those, and I feel like if we would have got a little bit more of that, maybe fighting two people at a time, or I think of something like kind of like the back and forth of a game. What's the Ubisoft game For Honor? Where combat is very deliberate, strategic.
And you
But
would think like, yeah,
you know,
something like that.
but
Like something has to give with that combat. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. That was one of the
that's what it's the weakest point in the game.
biggest point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the weakest point in
I
the game.
hated it after like, and when you get into those When you get into those chain battles that I was talking about, like when one person coming
Yeah.
after another, it gets tiring. You just like, yo, I just want this shit to end. Like,
You
when is
know,
it gonna
there's
stop?
no, in my opinion, like, and I know they kind of pulled the camera in, like you can tell they kind of changed the camera focus and put it a little bit closer during combat, and it's supposed to kind of give you that same kind of claustrophobic, desperation. She's fighting for her life type feel, and I really didn't get that because the only time you do combat is only in those situations, and you can't like practice the moves outside of it because you're just walking. Like
Because there's no
there's
moves.
no
There's no
yeah.
move to practice. You're just slash or strong slash or
Yeah,
whatever it's
and
called.
to in Dark Star, shout out to him and Chad. He brought up the price point in the game. I'll say this. I don't think there's anything wrong with the price of the game because Game Pass exists. That's not a point of contention for me personally. But if this game wasn't on Game Pass, like I would say this is maybe like a $40 to $45 game, in my opinion, just value wise. Like, I know people got their draws in a bunch about the length of the game, but I'm kind of on the other side of the fence. I don't care if a game is shorter. You know what I mean? Like
I was
that.
gonna say I don't care about the length of the game, but it better be a damn good game.
Yeah. Like, I'm not really like that. That doesn't bother me as much. I'm curious how the game is going to sell because of that price point. I'm wondering if they're going to release any sort of sales data or if they're just going to hit us with this many people played it on Game Pass. We had 10 million people download it. Like, but once again, like we talked about a few episodes ago, that doesn't tell me how well that translate to sales or revenue for
They
Xbox.
do
Like,
that on purpose.
we don't know, and I feel like Xbox is at this crossroads where you know, they have to put stuff on Game Pass. Like, there's no going back anymore. Like, we're here. Like Game Pass is going to be their main vehicle to push games. But I feel
Like Black Ops.
yeah. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that too. But I feel like I said, this game doesn't do anything for the brand of Xbox to move the needle in a positive direction, in my
Well
opinion.
said.
Like,
Said.
and I understand because before when we found out the release date of this game, I was thinking that they're gonna have some major killer app in the fall, which they possibly could. We don't know what they're gonna announce on June 9th, but as it stands right now, this game would have got buried in the fall. I think this game would have got buried under most of the whatever major releases that are gonna hit between like September and December. I think this game would have got buried. Honestly, like it's good that it came out now because it's kind of dominating the news cycle and the conversation from the wider gaming community. But I don't think like I'm still kind of disappointed in Xbox right now. I am like I'm glad Ninja Theory got to make the game they wanted. They doubled their team size with this game. It was 80 people versus I think 40 something that were working on the original. But I just feel like this game was too safe with what they wanted to do when they had the backing of a company like Xbox and Microsoft to allow them to take risks and to take chances, which I know may seem counterproductive to some people. But, this is what we've talked about with all these studio closures, with companies taking less risks. And I feel like this game was a weird in between with that. So, I don't really know how to feel about it at the end of the day. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't particularly like it either. And I feel like you're kind of like in that same kind of.
I feel like yeah, you're hitting on a lot of points that I strongly believe in as well. I just feel like I'm looking at one. I'm trying to like just drain out all the noise, what everybody's talking about, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go off just my experience.
Right.
And from the experience that I had from one to this, it was like I feel like honestly, the shit took a few steps back, in my opinion.
100%.
Like it didn't, like I said, it seemed like the voices was better in implemented on part one. I feel like there was a lot of things in part one that was done a little bit better, and I was expecting for them to build on that, and it kind of just plateaued.
Right.
Like,
I feel like they didn't really take a step forward. They just kind of because my question turns into, was the majority of the people you hired artists to work on the game, to make it look great, Unreal 5, or Did you hire people to? Because there's Vidocs. There's they released those documentaries and stuff like over the years they were working on this, and one of them they talked about combat, and that shit kind of blows my mind because the game is just so linear to the point that you're almost kind of on rails. Like you don't even really get to explore the environments that you're in, which I think
Yeah,
is a
you don't.
mistake.
There's no point of these beautiful environments because there is no exploration.
Yeah.
There's none. It's like a straight walk.
Like it's just
It's
so
like
weird. It's so
it's a
strange.
straight walk with beautiful scenery. It's
Yeah.
like, you built this beautiful world, but I can't go search for items or, hey, you need to search for this or look at this. You could look in this closet. Like,
Yeah.
there's none of that. You're just walking. You get this sword off of a dead body or whatever.
It's just
Then you're
very
just,
directed. Like it's just so weird. Like and to
hey,
answer,
when I was playing it, you know what I thought the whole time I was playing it? I was like, they could have just made a movie.
yeah, I would have much rather this have been an animated film. Like I would have watched the shit out of that, enjoyed it.
Yeah, the whole time I was playing it, I
yeah,
was like, maybe they should have just made a movie.
it would have been great. I think that would have been the right choice.
They got to open that world up some more too, man. Now that I think about it, because yeah, you're right. It was just like, just walking,
You can't really go
walking.
off of the path in front of you. And to
You
answer,
can't go search for shit really,
yeah,
or unless you're doing them weird puzzles.
and I'll be honest, like most people don't really like puzzles, man. To answer
I don't
your
mind
question,
puzzles,
Tori,
but these are just bad.
they're not great. Tori in the chat asked, do we think that they even had wiggle room to take that big of a risk? I do, and I think if you look at the time when this studio was acquired back in 2018, somewhere
Hmm.
around there versus
Yeah,
you
Ninja Theory
know
being there
they
for
they
a
were one of the
while.
first, like one of those first 4 to 5 studios that they ended up purchasing. You go back and you listen to like a lot of the interviews from like those studio heads back then. That was one of the things that they talked about a lot, was that Microsoft really wanted to reinforce and allow them to explore and make the games that they wanted. And that's why I said this game kind of sits in a weird gray area for me, because I feel like this game was a risk to make because it's not for everybody in my opinion. But I think it was too much of a risk that it doesn't have a broad enough appeal for people. Like this isn't, in my opinion, going to move the needle on the things that Xbox or, excuse me, that Microsoft really cares about, and that's Game Pass subscriptions and revenue now. Now if this game would have started development after what seems like a shift in their strategy, I think we probably would have got something closer to what people were expecting. But I think this is just kind of like a holdover from that first group of studios that were already, because they've been working on this game for like 5 or 6 years. Like Hellblade 1 came out like 2019 or something along those lines. Like it hasn't been out it had been out for quite some time, which is, once again, what was the reasoning for doubling your team size just for this game? Like I said, was it just more so we want this game to look as good as it possibly can, versus expanding things like combat, exploration? Like, I'll say this much, and I know some people might hate when I say this shit, but you look at something like God of War that came out in 2018, and how they kind of revitalized that franchise by giving you kind of like a semi-open world. Like the game isn't fully open, but there's multiple paths for you to take to explore, to really appreciate the world that's in front of you.
Mhm.
And I feel like Hellblade 2 just like fails miserably at that particular aspect. Is that it
If they could
doesn't?
have made more of an open world with those graphics,
Yeah, I
it
would.
would have been, I think that would have added a few bonus points to it. All they had to do was kind of just open that world up and how, like, focus on like just slight improvements to the combat. Like little things like that
Yeah,
could have been made the world of difference in this game. Because the experience, like, and I'm talking from a person who literally has played the game.
yeah,
I'm damn near at the end. I didn't finish it, but from what I've been told, I'm like pretty much at the end. But for a person who played through it, it's just like, man, like there's nothing to even talk about that stood out. Like if I came
right.
in here like, yo, this fight scene, man, where you fighting this hobgoblin, it's there's none of that. Like I can't even think of a really cool moment in the game to even really discuss.
Right. It's all
Like there's
it's all
no
very, I don't want to say bland. It's not the right word. It's just We talked about this shit time and time again. Excuse me. Um, you 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 don't have like a killer franchise on Xbox right now. You don't. You have Forza. Who cares? You had Halo. Had like nobody's buying Halo right now. That community is pretty much set in stone where it's going to be. Infinite's kind of sitting where it's going to sit, and
And it's so sad because Infinite is so much
it's in
better.
such
But
a good place.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's so
think,
good right
yeah, I
now.
don't think that game's ever gonna
It's not going to grow past
peak
where it
the
is.
way it should. Yeah,
It is.
I think if you know, you know. If you don't, you kind of just don't
Nobody's
care.
nobody's going to download Infinite, and the multiplayer is free to play everywhere. um, and outside of that,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
you don't
multiplayer. My
really
bad. I
have.
wasn't talking about the game.
You need as a brand and a console maker or first party studios, you need those killer franchises to sell whether that's to sell hardware or to sell Game Pass. Xbox doesn't have it right now. Me and DC were kind of talking about the showcase that's coming up next month in a couple weeks. And I don't know what to expect right now. I don't know what the hell they're going to do outside of Call of Duty. I don't even count this year's Call of Duty as a win for them because it's been in development for like 4 years at this point. We know it's going to sell. It's a known quantity. But what do you have outside of that? Avowed? I'm not excited for it.
Avowed.
When it got showcased last year, it looked not great. It looked mediocre. I'm just being honest. Like
Let's just be real.
being honest. Like
For what Xbox need, just like you said for this game in particular, for what Xbox need, Avowed ain't moving the needle. That's not it. That's not gonna be it. I'm with you on that. That game looks.
It comes out in the fall. It's gonna get buried. I think the game's gonna get buried. It's gonna review okay, probably. People are gonna play it.
So what do we get for Xbox June showcase? What do we get?
I think we're gonna get a lot of preparation, unless rumors are kind of hitting right now about a new Doom game. Unless that hits out this fall, which I think could do incredibly well because the first few Doom games sold well, very popular.
Doom games are fun.
Yeah, Doom.
I love them.
Yeah, people have always loved to play Doom. You might get that this year.
Wait, but Doom is on all systems, right? Or is it?
It was. I don't know if Doom Eternal is. I'm assuming it is. If not, it's on Game Pass. Doom Eternal. Let's see if it's on PlayStation. I honestly don't know.
Man, Microsoft they've dug themselves a pretty big
Yeah,
hole.
it is actually. Yeah, it's on Switch too, that's fucking insane. Yeah, so it's on that. It's on a lot of platforms. We'll probably get that. That'll probably be multi-platform, but you'll get a Gears of War announcement. Too many people have been talking about it. Like I think it's time we'll get a Gears 6 teaser for 2025. But
I'm not hearing nothing.
For me, this just comes back to like for God's sakes, man. Like PlayStation 5 or Sony, they have not dropped a single first-party game this year, and they're still selling consoles. Like they're still selling consoles. Like, can we just really like think about that for a fucking second? Like, excuse my language, but I'm sure people are gonna oh man, Sony pony whatever. Like their business model has been working for them. They've done all the right things since the PlayStation 4 generation that they've been afforded this extra time.
Those people not really tripping
because they know the quality of the games. Like usually their first party studios release great games. And maybe they'll release something this year. We'll see. There's rumors of a showcase at the end of the month. Maybe we'll get a showcase next week. Actually, just timestamp this because it'll probably get announced Monday or some shit. Who knows? But
Xbox
is
just copy their homework.
I'm just gonna say it like I've said it before. The Xbox One generation ruined the brand of Xbox forever. Like it's so hard to come back from that. Like almost 8 years of stepping on your own feet, tripping on your own feet. Like it's really not done them any favors.
PlayStation's homework. Just copy their homework.
But that's the thing. Like it's not even just that simple. Like we can say make good games, make great games, but what does that even mean to them at this point? It's and I feel that was one of my questions. Is like do you feel like the goalposts always get moved when it comes to their first party? Microsoft first party. I don't think so. Not in this case. I think they just
No.
released a niche game that some people really like and some people really don't. And I don't think that they can afford to keep doing things like this, which may be why Big Daddy Satya lifted, unzipped his pants and put it on the table for them and told them to start making money. So what does that mean for like their development for their games for the next like 5 years? Like I just don't
Not
know
put
anymore,
the glizzy
man.
on the table.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
and he's like, let's not forget who's really in charge here, Lil Phil.
Start making me some damn money, or we gonna see some changes around
I'm
this
telling
bitch.
you, like, I don't know where the fuck we go from here, man.
Y'all got a decade of losing, and I'm not a loser.
Yeah, and I feel like they're gonna address the studio closures at the beginning of their showcase. They're gonna do some very tone deaf message, and they're gonna stick Sarah Bond. Watch when I say this, guys. They're gonna put the black woman on stage to apologize to the gaming industry, and I hate that shit because I like Sarah Bond.
Oh,
Man.
Sarah Bond, why they got you on these dummy missions?
They keep
no.
having her fall on these swords in public, and they're not taking the hit. They making her take the hit for it, man. She's gonna be the first one on stage. Remember, I said that, man. Like
spitting a whole bunch of what they call it, word vomit.
yeah, just fucking a bunch of nothing, a bunch of corpo.
She's
speak.
good at freestyling though. Well, I'm gonna start calling her Jadakiss, boy.
Yeah,
'Cause,
and so I don't know, man. Like I feel like in 2 weeks nobody's gonna be talking about this game. It's gonna fade to black, and then we're gonna get a bullshit. 10 million people, 5 million people downloaded the game. But that's not that doesn't mean anything to me. How are we making money off of this stuff? Like I don't know what they're doing, and it's blowing my mind. Like it's actually like bothering me. What the fuck are we doing here, Xbox?
Man,
because I just feel like, just like BZ said, that's one of my biggest criticisms of Metal Gear Solid. Like some of those games, because the cutscenes are long. They're too fucking long. I'm watching a movie at certain points, like.
Hey, look, Metal Gear and what's his face created
Hideo.
the long ass cutscenes, boy. I remember what was it? What Metal Gear was that?
It was at 4.
Was it Metal Gear Solid 4?
It was Metal Gear Solid 4. It had like an hour and a half long cutscene or something.
No, when you was talking to the Cyber Ninja, oh my god,
yeah, like
bro, those cutscenes, I'd be like, man, let me go make a sandwich.
like
Shit.
I know I'm not gonna be playing for a minute, so I can go do stuff. Yes, I don't think.
Oh no, Metal Gear, one of those games where you have to have free time. Ain't no going there in and out, boy, because you gonna get some talkage.
Yeah, that's a fair point, Darkstar. Yeah, at least there is action in the game. But my point being, that's what I'm saying. It's like Hellblade is, just like the BZ, take a page out of his book. Yapology, a lot of too much cutscene, not enough game. Like it's not, and it's disappointing, man. Because I really like Ninja Theory, I do. And they're, for people who are worried they're gonna get closed, they're not. They've already been greenlit for their next project, and they announced what was it called? Project Mara, I think, which is supposed to be like some sort of horror game, it looks like. So I'm wondering if that's going to be more of the same, like with this. Like, is it going to be kind of on the rails,
that might be their style, though. That might just be.
And I was just about to say, that might be
thing.
what they want to do, but that's not
and
selling
I
Game
respect
Pass
that, but
subscriptions.
Yeah.
Like it sucks at this point. This is where Microsoft is. This is we could close out on the whole Call of Duty debate because I went back and looked, like we were talking about, like there's really nowhere, I swear to God, man, that somebody somewhere in that court during court said that they could not put. And I think, I think change for them being able to put Call of Duty on Game Pass was them making those 10-year deals to make it not exclusive. I think that's what changed the narrative. So that is to say, I 100%, and I hate it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I hate it, but I know we're gonna get a Game Pass Day 1 announcement for Black Ops 6, and it's gonna cost them probably $100 million at the very least. But long term, they're gonna get their subscriptions up. And that's where this is for Xbox. Like you dug this hole and you threw your shovel up to Satya. So you can't get out of it. He put grease on the walls and you're fucking stuck down there. There's no way.
Yeah, because it's crazy. They got so many Like Game Pass is ridiculous, and they're like, nah, we need more subscriptions. Like, do you
Yeah.
want the whole world on Game Pass? Like,
It's like we're at this point with TV shows, movies. You know, a lot of people were complaining about what was it? The last two movies that came out, Free Guy or Fall Guy and oh gosh, Mad Max. You know, people
mm-hmm,
are like, they don't think those movies are doing as well because they're not on streaming services. I was like, yeah, that's because that's where most people watch their movies now. It's like streaming services. It sucks,
right,
with the and with the the rising cost of theater tickets. Look at that, like the rising cost of games. I'm gonna go to Game Pass because I don't want to pay $70 for every game I want. I could just pay Netflix $22 a month to watch all the hundreds of movies. It's a better deal.
right.
The average person is gonna do that 10 times out of 10. But is it the
A lot of
best
people
thing
don't
for the
even wanna leave
industry?
their house,
I
so.
don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen in 5 years. Like I'm
5 years.
really, I try not to be doom and gloom on here, but you got people who are studios are closing. Like you have people who are leaving the industry in droves. Like it's not a joke. Like you guys can look the numbers up on this shit. Like artists,
Yeah.
producers, media people.
A
Like
lot of people are
they
switching,
leaving the game
careers,
industry.
like
Yeah.
literally switching career paths because it's so toxic. Like,
Yeah.
and that's not even including like the workspace.
No.
Like the worst workspaces are toxic. People are getting laid off. Like, yeah, it's gonna be very interesting next 5 years to see where the gaming industry is gonna be.
I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, man. I don't. I'm just gonna enjoy the ride, I guess. Like we're here. There's no going back. So I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
man. Like to make that a very long. I don't. I kind of wish they didn't make this game. I'm sorry.
Man,
know.
and
I
I
don't know what to
was
say anymore.
look, I was the prime minister pom poms over here, bruh.
Yeah,
I
man.
was, I really thought that they were gonna put extra mac sauce on this. I thought this game was gonna be out of here, man. And my like I said, when I heard the length of it, I was okay
Yeah. I
because I
didn't care
heard the
about
length
that.
of it, and I was like, you know what? Long as there's quality in that length, I'm good, right? But then as I started playing, I remember the night I fired it up, it was when it dropped. When it dropped. I got
Yeah.
home from work, turned it on, and first thing you're doing, it's like your first 15, 20 minutes, you're walking. Like you crash on a boat, you're on the beach, and then you're like walking, walking, walking. Then you get to this point where you pick up a sword, you fight a couple of people, then you fight what I would like to call possibly the first boss encounter. You fight this dude. I love his moves. Like he's just punking you. Like
Right.
you got to hit him a certain kind of way. And I'm like, okay, the fighting's. I want a little bit bored with her, but maybe she'll learn techniques or something
Yeah. It's like, oh, this
along
is
the
just
way.
the intro. We're gonna get
Mhm.
deeper into this.
Right.
No.
I love the dude that you capture in the beginning. You end up defeating him and then capturing him and whatever. And I'm thinking like, maybe she'll learn different things along the way. And I'm just going and I'm going and I'm like, okay, another fight. Like I'm not even excited to get into fights because the combat is just so uninspiring. Like that's how bad it was. I was like, I don't even want to fight, but I don't want to walk. I don't want to do anything. Why am I playing this? Like,
Yeah. You should have just made it a movie, and then. And I don't know, man. Like I don't know where we'll see after June 9th. I promise you guys, we're gonna watch the showcase. We might do it live. Just watch it live with everybody because I believe that's a Sunday. Let me double check. I think June.
yeah,
9th
I
is
was just
Sunday.
looking on my calendar, June 9th.
Yeah, we might just watch it live here and record live after. Like they got a lot of work to do, man. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, and I'm excited for Gears, but that's about it. I don't know. What
I don't
else.
even have any excitement there
I do. I'm just it
because the
gets me every
last
time,
two
man.
were so bad. I'm just like,
That's where we're gonna disagree. I thought 5 was good. 4,
eh.
they could have kept that shit.
4 was horrible.
Yeah.
5 was just to me because it's like y'all just like when y'all in a universe like that, just there's other people fighting. There's other stories to be told. Like I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Xbox we down on them, man. Like I don't know. I was so not ready to. I didn't even want to talk about this game today. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't, because I already knew how I felt about it. I kind of knew about 2 days after it released. I was like, yeah, this is not gonna be a good episode for Xbox, at least from us. Like there, once again, if you play, I always encourage people play the game, see how you like it. It's on Game Pass.
Play for yourself.
Play it for yourself. If you like
Play
those
for
kind of
yourself.
narrative experiences, it's right up your alley. I promise you. But
Or, with all this technology we have nowadays, I mean, you can watch a streamer play it. You can watch it on YouTube.
there are full playthroughs on YouTube. Yes, so check
Yeah.
it out. Like I will say this: check it out, because I like Ninja Theory, and but I feel like they got to make the game they wanted to make, but it's not the one that majority. I don't even say majority. A lot of people wanted to see, me included. Like I wanted this to be the next big franchise for Xbox, and maybe we'll get that in the third game in 2030 or whenever the fuck they release it. So I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm gonna end the episode. I don't really know.
Hey, like,
It's full of disappointment, man. I don't know what else to say. Sorry, I'm sorry if I brought the mood down, chat.
no, it is what it is, man. And it's like at this point, honesty goes a long way. Like I said, you could be honest without being an asshole.
Yeah, 100%.
I think you could be on like now if you just dumping on like, yo, this game is shit, blah blah blah. Like that ain't really my style. But I have to be honest. Like my experience with the game was just blah. Like I just didn't. It wasn't what I was looking for. I would love to hear people in the comments who've played it or plan on playing it. Come on over. Let's have a discussion, because there are people like I was watching Doc Disrespect play it, and he was having fun.
He was enjoying it, which is a surprise to me, man. That was a huge surprise.
Yeah, he's enjoying it. So it's and I think I just want to reiterate, I think you really hit the nail on the head with that. Like, yeah, it is what it is, but it's not what Xbox need right now.
No.
So
this game,
I don't know.
And I know people once again are gonna be mad at me for saying this shit. If this would have been a PlayStation first party game, it came out exactly like this, not nearly as many people would have been down on it. I promise you.
Well, that's just the way of the pony, bro.
Yeah.
That's just how this world is right now. Like people just feel like PlayStation could do.
Yeah, they can do. No wrong.
People just feel like PlayStation could do no wrong, and they're in the same. Like, bro, don't get it twisted. They still trying to figure out how to make more from the games that they got, because their games on the outside, they're doing great, but a lot of these games it's hard pressed for them to get make their money back.
Number must
like
go
no
up.
matter how good they are. Like it's just like, yo, we're barely breaking even. So
and that's why PC is coming into play. And by the way, for all those people who think that PC gaming is not important, spending was actually up more on PC, I think, last year than it was on console. So
PC Master Race.
PC Master Race. I'm just kidding. And Tori put the nail on the head in chat. Yeah, they got to make the game they wanted to make, but now they're gonna have to make the game. They're gonna have to make a game they have to make. Yeah, I agree.
That's that you talking about
Big Daddy Satya, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he about to kick you in the door. Hey,
he about to big.
What the hell was that shit y'all
big
put out?
on everybody. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like
Microsoft stand for make money fast. No, it don't. I don't know what that. Microsoft ain't playing with y'all. You better get your ass to work.
I'm telling you, bro, it got to be green. Like
y'all
that
got Phil
company
Spencer
color,
in the
bro.
basement getting whipped, bro.
And like for every bad comment I read, that's one lashing.
Papa Phil down there getting his ass whooped while Sarah Bond in there with the.
Oh, he's making Sarah do it. Oh no.
Sarah Bond, they got her getting ready to go out and spew more word
mark
vomit.
My words, she is going to be the first one on stage, and she is going to be the first one apologizing because she's a black woman. Thank you guys for hanging out and listening to episode 191 of the Super Weapon Podcast, man. Like I mentioned before at the beginning of the episode, man, make sure you guys check out the Super Weapon YouTube, man. DC's been uploading some shorter bites on the YouTube, just kind of focusing in on certain topics. Let us know what you guys think, man.
Not only that, like you want to see the full episode, I'm gonna start hooking y'all over here live. You want the full live experience? You gotta come experience because on YouTube you
Ooh.
only getting clips.
See, I like that. So yeah, if you guys
Yeah,
wanna
yeah,
want
yeah,
the full
for
episode,
sure.
you gotta hang out with us here, man.
Yeah, you gotta hang out with us. Ain't no more freebies, bro. Get in here. Come
Oh
hang
goodness, man.
with your boy,
I don't
Soldier
know,
Boy,
man.
in a place to be.
And then don't forget the Soldier game too, man. That console, I'm still floating around
Hey,
out
I'm gonna
there.
find one. You know what? Just because you said
No.
that shit, I'm gonna find one and I'm gonna buy it.
Oh gosh, man.
Support bad gaming.
Ugh, no, don't. Thank you guys for hanging out, man. Once again, happy Memorial Day to everybody. Thank you to all of our veterans. We appreciate you guys, man. Like I said, doing the things that most would not. And I hope you guys have a good, safe weekend with your family, friends, whoever that may be. I don't really got anything, man. You guys can find me on Twitter. There's the artist where he's 3 DC. Take us home, baby.
I'm here to say support bad gaming. Nah, maybe not. Yo, but yeah, have a great Memorial weekend. It's raining over here. True Atlanta style, right? Just rain on the parade. But shout out to all the Momo Connors who came into town and now traffic is like shit in Memorial weekend. Now I'm staying in the house. Thanks. Thank you guys. Yeah, man. Wait, hold on. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, teacher bro, what's going on,
Hey,
man? Long
teacher, bro.
time no see, my
Support
brother.
the troops in bad gaming, man. All right, guys. That's going to be the indie audio
I'm
version,
out,
man. We
man.
get out of
Peace.
here. See you guys later. Peace.
Oh, support the truth.